This is CreateLcdGui, and this is a new project. Basically, it's a tool that lets you make a graphical user interface, and you can add buttons, text, graphical rectangles, and what I call spin controls and checkboxes. For example, if you just want to add a button, you click Add Button, and it'll make a default button for you. You can change some of the settings now, like the foreground and background color. But once you're happy with it, just hit OK. You can move it around on the screen where you want. You can change the size of it if you would like. There's a little spin control. By default, it gives you a 2-digit one. Say you want a 4-digit spin control, you just change that to 4, and now you have 4 digits. If you want to change it, you can click Modify and say, oh, I'd like an arrow per digit. And you can set whether it's decimal, hex, alphanumeric, or any old character you want. So that's basically what you can do. You can have checkboxes too, things you can click on. I'll load one from another project. This one is from a bigger project. It has a lot more going on. It's got 4 different buttons for taking you to different screens and multiple different controls. Different screens can be selected at the top here. There's a screen named Other, one named Double Draw, which has drawing areas that the code can interrogate and figure out these rectangles. And this one's a little free drawing one that you can draw on the screen. One thing I want to point out is that every button or object has an ID with it, and this is used by the PIC code to get messages to find out what's going on. So the GUI code on the PIC will send messages if somebody clicks this button, and I'll have a message with the ID set to ID button free clear. Likewise, this has one named free done, and these are little checkboxes, and they have names too, like cyan for changing the color. You can find out more details on the web about this, but the better fun is to see when it's actually running on hardware. So here's a little LCD screen running that same GUI code, and if you can see, if I'm using a stylus that came with the screen, but if you click Set Period, you can change different numbers by clicking on the arrows. And you can either cancel or accept it. So if I hit accept, and this period is affecting this timer here, the speed that it advances. So if I change the period to make it much slower by raising the number, hit accept, now you see that the number advances a lot slower. There's also some giant controls as well that you can change the numbers on by just clicking on them. I don't know if you can see or not, but the buttons actually have a little 3D effect to them, so when you push down you do get some feedback. The drawing boxes that I showed in the PC code are interrogated to figure out where these different rectangles are, and then I can have little animations going. You can click on these radio buttons or checkboxes to pause the display. You can also, these spin boxes control the speed, so if you, this is the number of milliseconds it waits for drawing the next part of the animation. So there's kind of some multitasking going on where 2 different animations are running at the same time. There's also, part of this has a free drawing part of it, so you can draw on the screen any kind of diagrams you want. And so basically the PIC code is just receiving messages from this GUI software, and I can show you the hardware is just a single PIC processor and wire. Not the best lighting, but there's nothing there except for wire going to the TFT display.